welcome to Let's Play Dread Trials. So previously, we were tied up, captured by bandits, and we escaped, and now we're back in town of Symphonian. And yeah, you can see that there are, free exits. And those two exits, left and down, which are west and south respectively, we can access them. But those areas are normally accessed until a bit later. So, I'll show you how. So, that's the sandy wastes. And if we're near an enemy, you can see that the bar is in red, and that enemy is level 24. Yeah, I believe if enemies are, like, various levels higher than you, then their name would be red. While enemies that are some levels higher than you, I believe will be yellow. I believe that's probably the game's way to warn you to not confront these enemies. But anyway, let's go beat Sarah at the Rune Knight's Guild. Big sis, Sniff, I was so worried. You got caught just so I could escape. I won't forgive myself if anything happens to you. Come now, someone like me wouldn't lose to such loaded bandits. But if it wasn't for me, you would have wiped out in the first place and never got caught like that. Hey, listen, you did go get Sarah to save me, right? That's all that matters. This girl is Celeste. Sarah's sister and my childhood friend. You could say she's like an arrow little sister to me. Yeah, it's the least I could do. So where's Sarah now? She's upstairs, lecturing the new Rune Knights, but she gave you permission to wait there. Got it. See you later, Celeste. Yeah, just like the Eternal Dread games, there is no voice acting. And also, something I did not show you in Eternal... Also, something I didn't show you in Eternal Dread 3, if you hold down Alt and press any of the number keys, like if you press Alt and 1, Elise will wave. Yeah, you can also do this in Eternal Dread 3. Yeah, the waving animation, I believe, is used in Eternal Dread 3 when you load a save game. And that's the close shop. So that's the Rookie and Night Helm. And I did show you in the previous video, yeah, you can change the outfit in the wardrobe. And this will reflect, I believe, like here. I think in the safe, as well as in the portrait, like in the cutscenes. And, yep, there's the name of the character. Yeah, I believe it's always fixed to Elise. And there's barrels, which we can't destroy. Oh yeah, before we do begin our adventure proper, let's go get the heal spell. This is a pretty useful spell, as what this will do is that, yep, lets you restore health. And something that is interesting in the interface is that there is a space for where a third rune slot would be. Yeah, that kind of spoils something. That gives us a hint that, yeah, we can unlock a third rune slot. Which we'll learn about that a bit later in the Let's Play. So, without further ado, let's go meet Sarah. As you can see, Rune Knights are classified into 3 ranks. Cheap. The lowest rank, a trainee Rune Knight, inexperienced and untested. Most focused on working in teams to hone their skills and support each other at the same time. Lion. Those who have proven themselves through missions and passed the rank up examination. Lions can operate solo, true professionals of their craft. And lastly, Dragon, the highest rank, attained only by select few in history. A force capable of annihilating entire armies, yet, in this age, not a single soul has reached such heights. After Sarah's lecture ended, and there's the bed. There's the balcony, which I believe you can jump down there. That's interesting. Something prevents Elise from jumping fully up. And I do think this game may have fall damage, but I don't think there are a lot of sections in the game, I think, where you can, like, take fall damage. I don't know of any vertical, like, areas there, besides maybe one dungeon. I think there is indeed something behind that door. But yeah, we can't break it. And I think that's where the, our leader would be at, but she's not here. I believe you'll meet this, person a bit later. But anyway. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting, Elise. Hey there, what do you need of me, master? A late introduction, but this is Sarah, my master. Once my father's apprentice, now my mentor. We've been close since childhood, so she's like a big sister to me and Elaine. After interrogating the bandits we captured yesterday, we learned their leader is in the Symphonian Steppes. Yep, I'm sure you can guess where we're going to head to. I'm assigning you to capture their leader, alive, and bring her into custody. Very well. This time I won't mess up. Hold it. Don't underestimate them, Elise. Even a lion can make a fatal mistake. Make a fatal mistake? You rose through the ranks too quickly. Your fundamentals might still be lacking. So, before you leave, we're doing a crash course on capturing enemies and escaping, in case you do get caught again. Yes, I do believe this kind of foreshadows a mechanic in the game. Huh? So next time, I can break free on my own? Exactly, it won't be easy, but it'll greatly improve your survival chances. Since this is a subjugation mission, I'll start by teaching you how to take a prisoner. Most human enemies will surrender and raise their hands when they're on the brink of death. Some give in quicker than the others. Some would fight to the bitter end. You may only subdue enemies who have surrendered. But be warned, if you take too long, they might change their mind and resume fighting. Now, attack me till I surrender, then tie me up. Okay. So this teaches you a really poor mechanic in this game. So if you hold E, you can tie up enemies. Once you subdue an enemy, they'll escape and left unchecked when you leave the map. To prevent that, you can take them with you. However, you can only have one prisoner at a time, so don't bite more than you can chew. Alternatively, if you have multiple captives and you don't want them slipping away, tie them to something that should keep them in check. Okay, now there's a warning. If you die or get captured while transferring a prisoner, they will escape, unless they are an essential story character. Now, tie me to that post over there. To the post. So we have 5 different options. Now, usually I believe there's also an execution option, but yeah. Since I believe she's an essential character, yeah, this option doesn't exist. And then we press use. Not bad. Most wouldn't break free from this kind of bondage. Jeez. She's too cute when tied up. I'm getting the urge to tease her. Of course, most will just give up and resign to their fate. But what in the world just happened? That kind of bonding would never hold me back. Now, let's see you escape from it. But no way, that's impossible. A great Rune Knight wouldn't be held back by such a trivial obstacle. There's always a way out. Now, let me teach you how to untie the rope. I think I'm getting the gist of it. Let me try. Simply untying yourself would be too easy. Let's turn this into a practical scenario. If you're captured, someone will likely be assigned to keep watch. If they catch you escaping, they'll finish you off in a spot. So free yourself only when you aren't being watched. Now, try it. I'll play the role of the guard. Try to untie while I'm not looking. Hold the left mouse button to attempt to escape. If the guard notices, immediately release the button before the alert gauge fills up. Okay, so about that alert system. Yeah, if they catch Elise escaping, I believe most of the time, yeah, she'll be killed. I think there is, I believe, one exception to this. But yeah, most of the time, yeah, you'll die. Once the escape gauge is full, time your press when the needle lands in the green zone a set number of times. You may need to successfully repeat the process more than once, depending on the tightness of the bindings and your position. Okay, so this is the mechanic here, so... Okay, that sound effect. That wrong sound effect. I think that's from XP? RPG Maker XP? So yeah, sometimes we'll be tied up, like to the pole here. And I think this is where we get the achievement. Yeah, sometimes we'll be tied to the pole. I believe this will happen, of course, if you die to certain enemies. Like those human enemies that we'll encounter later. Or something that I believe is also not mentioned by the game. If your health is like very low, some enemies will also tie up Elise. And she will, of course, have to escape. If she is near something that she could be tied to, then we'll have to do this process to escape. Off you go. Excellent. Now you're ready for yourself if captured. But remember, knowing how doesn't mean it's easy in a real situation. Don't overestimate yourself. Many have tried to escape and died doing so. I don't want you to be one of them. I remember what you taught me. Have faith. I'll come back alive. Very well. I'm counting on you to capture the Bandit Leader this time. I marked the possible location of the hideout on your map. Good luck out there. Alright. So now our adventure begins. Yeah, which I believe is real gameplay starts. Although I think you can technically visit this. I think before you do the tutorial, I think. Yeah, the enemies do seem a bit easy. See the destinations on the north. Yeah, I think you might have saw me that, yeah, I did mine this. So these crystals, you might be familiar with if you played Eternal Dread 2 or 3. This is where you mine materials. And that's a goblin. Yeah, remember these goblin enemies from Eternal Dread? I think, yeah, some enemies, I believe, like the orcs, they can also tie you up. Oh, yeah, we got these. Okay. I believe, like, so yeah, when they, surrender, you can tie them up. But I believe if you leave them alone, I can, I believe, like fight, resume fighting. Yeah, like you saw here. Okay. Yeah, fortunately I have to kill this one. Okay, we can untie. Okay, wait. So yeah, we have the option to execute, change pose. And... So now we got a captive. Yeah, I believe there's an achievement, of course. I think that will. Also, when you turn into the prison cell, you can also gain money. I think based on the enemy. I believe the bandits would only give you like 200 if at most. I think they give you like 200. Z. I hear fighting. Okay, now an interesting detail here is that yes, we see the yeah, we see the bandits can sometimes fight the monsters. We just progressed to level 3. Okay, they just retreated. Let's go get that bandit. Okay, we got a sapphire. Okay, the band's hideout. I don't know if this is the same hideout that we were in the beginning of the game. Yeah, this area has a map. I believe sometimes, yeah, some areas don't give you a map. Okay, like, so in this case, she did not want to surrender, so... Oh, flame staff. And... give myself a spinning attack. Okay, wait, equipment. Now, okay. So you get 12 magic attack, 2 plus 2 magic attack, and 5% fire attack. Also get poison attack, which if we have a poison rune, so if we had a poison rune or skills that do poison, I don't think that any of the skills do, except for like maybe this one, the smoke bomb. Yeah, because I don't think you can have poison attacks, but you can get a poison rune. So this is like the elemental staff in Eternal Dread 3. And we also have our flame staff. Okay, I'm not keen on the accuracy thing. Which I believe the accuracy means that, yeah, it gives you a chance to hit. I don't know if the accuracy in evasion ever do have any usefulness in this game. Oh yeah, those are the hostages. We can untie the hostages. I believe there is an achievement for like untying 50 of them. And just like with the bow, Elise will, yeah, fire wherever she's facing. Okay, so this is a cage, and though I have mentioned this earlier, if Elise is weakened, sometimes the enemies can tie her up. And I believe if they bring her to an area like this cage here, then she will have to do the escape sequence. So yeah, enemies that can tie you up when weakened. What game does that remind me of? Because I'm sure if you have guessed D.I.D. Napper or D.I.D. Napper 2, you're right. You can see these enemies are level 3. So yeah, in this game, I believe enemies can, yeah, they scale to your level. So that's the skills. Yeah, I'm going to try to conserve the skills, though. Also, like in Eternal Dread 3, you can hold the button and fire a charge attack. So the bird can slowly reduce health. I believe it's not as effective as it was in Eternal Dread 2. I mean, it does lower health, but I don't believe it will kill enemies. And I believe the same is true for poison. Like, it'll lower your health, but it can't kill you. We have an effer. Yeah, however, we can use the effers if we need to restore some MP. And some iron ore. And sometimes you can find items in the crates. Yeah, burn is not as effective in this game. I believe like poison is. Yeah, so poison knife. Which which I believe can inflict poison to enemies. Huh. Wow, we dismembered them. Yeah, skills are, again, pretty powerful, although they can seem a bit really hard to use early game because, yeah, the MP, which we have to rely on efforts. Oh, poison rune. I'm putting that in spinning attack. So that grants a skill a chance to inflict poison. Yeah, poison is maybe a pretty useful stats elements, because what it does is that it lowers, health. And yeah, you can put this on very powerful skills. So yeah, once we get further in the game, we see we lower health. Okay, now something I don't think the game ever shows yet, so I used it. But yeah, we cannot change sag. Yeah, for some reason we can't change runes when in skills on cooldown. I don't know why it's designed like that, but yeah, just like Eternal Dread, the Eternal Dread games, you can't swap skills that are in cooldown. Yeah, I think we'll give that one there. But yeah. Okay, we gotta conserve MP. Let's untie these two. Oh, leather armor. Yeah, that's useful. So we get Thunder and Ice Resist. Yeah, probably not useful at this stage of the game. But yeah, we get 2 enchantments. That does slightly increase our HP. And assuming that the armor and magic armor is, I believe, is your defense, which I'm guessing like reduces the percentage of damage you take from enemies. But yeah, enemies of course will do, yeah, pretty good damage though, regardless of whichever you have. And yes, there are enchantments, like in Eternal Dread 3, so the one we have has 2. Yeah, Thunder Attack, I believe, would affect that. That probably may be slightly a bit useful there. Maybe later. Which you'll see. I won't mention the name of the area. Ice Resist, although probably not useful in that stage of the game, because I don't think a lot of enemies do target us with ice. But if we look at status, yeah, we can see we have 25% nominal defense. So, like, say if we have 50% fire, then the fire attack will only do, like, half the damage. So let's untie. Yeah, and I think the, hairstyles, I think they're, similar to Eternal Dread 3. Also, you can block an attack by just, yeah, right-clicking. But I almost never use the block mechanic. Okay, so we have the Bandit Leader. Let's use heal. Yeah. All right, let's tie up the Bandit Leader. All right. We get leather gloves. Attack plus 3%. I don't think that's a bit helpful. Yeah. Give no prisoner. Yeah. Kind of. Now all that's left is delivering her to jail. All right. Okay. Hey, remember this thing, the waypoint. So once we activate the waypoint, we'll mark that on the map. So the waypoint is pretty familiar if you have played Eternal War or the Eternal Dread games. And yes, the prisoner also does travel with you for the waypoint. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can deliver the 2 prisoners. So yeah, I'm going to time-lapse this right after I, Okay, yeah, we can't do this prisoner, so never mind. But yeah, maybe I'll show you in the like next part. The next part, yeah, he can deliver. I think that's a male Rune Knight. Yeah, because there aren't a lot of male characters. Yeah. One prisoner delivery. Many thanks. I'll take it here. You have earned a good rest, Rune Knight. All right. Time to do a time lapse. All right. Capture a prisoner and bring it. I'll pay you their bounty. You will receive 200 as a bounty for this captive. Accept. And we get the new costume. We also get a new costume. All right. So I'll be ending this video. So next time we are going to go take a rest and continue the story, continue our adventure.